Hi, everybody. My name is Dr. Marsha Tyak, and I am your instructor for ethics, policy, and healthcare advocacy for this summer session. I have sections 101, 102, and 104. So I welcome you to the courses this summer. I know the last several months have been interesting and challenging and full of obstacles. And this class is going to be perfect to be able to explore some of those things that we've all sort of gone through in the last few months. I guess it is months now. Let me introduce and tell you a little bit about myself. I have been a nurse about, 17 and a half years. Keeps getting longer. I have been a nurse practitioner for 10 of those years. I am an acute care nurse practitioner by training, a Marquette grad for my master's and my doctorate. I completed the acute care NP program in 2010 and have worked predominantly in neurosurgery and critical care, most recently in critical care. And I do keep up a week of clinical practice in addition to my full-time faculty role here at Marquette. I completed my PhD here at Marquette in 2018. The focus of my dissertation was advanced directives and the intensity of care that we deliver at the end of life in the acute care setting. So I'm very interested in the high technology care that we deliver to patients at or near end of life. I do love the critical care environment though, and so that's why I continue to practice there. And yes, I have been taking care of COVID patients. So it's been a really interesting time. What else can I tell you? Oh, I did my fellowship, my postdoctoral fellowship at the University of Chicago, studying under Dr. Mark Ziegler. You will learn more about him. Is it module 4? I think it's in module 4 when we talk about the 4 topics decision-making model, as he is one of the authors of that model that is a very well-accepted model. Personally, let's see, I'm full-time here at Marquette. Like I said, I keep up 1 day a week of clinical practice. I have 3 lovely children who have been schooling from home for the past few couple of months now. My oldest is finishing his sophomore year. My twins are finishing their 8th grade year. So I think that's about all there is super interesting about me. I would love to hear about all of you. So I look forward to those introductions. A couple of things. I know we are going to meet in the kickoff, so I won't bore you with details that you can first read in the syllabus. But I did want to point out a few things as we enter the semester. My goals for you this semester, you are continuing on your journey toward becoming Marquette nurses. And you all come from different backgrounds and all have different perspectives to bring to the table. I want you to continue to learn about nursing and healthcare through the world of ethics. We'll talk some about policy, definitely about advocacy, but we're all going to have different perspectives. And so we want to make sure that we respect those perspectives, even if we disagree. And in this course, it is okay to disagree. We learn the most from each other. We learn the most about ourselves when we have a healthy debate and we disagree about things respectfully. And we get a new perspective when we listen to someone else's perspective, and oftentimes may change some of our views, or at least think differently about ours or the people that we are disagreeing with as far as their views. So my goals are that you are more enriched after this semester, and that you question, that you challenge, that you advocate. So we're going to be doing that this semester. Along those lines, I should say, The first, I think modules 3 and 4, I believe, are where we talk about bioethical principles and ethical theories. I would say that in the past, students seem to skip over those as though they aren't very important. And it does them a disservice later on in the semester. So please don't skip past those modules. Don't breeze through them. The bioethical principles and the ethical theories are the foundation, and the foundations on which all of our discussions are built. And you'll have a couple of essays to work on. You will need to refer back to those principles and back to those theories. There are lots of theories. We teach you a couple bioethical theories. Remember, these are different than nursing theories. So we want you to understand the ethical theories in this class and apply the bioethical theories. So please don't, as you're looking ahead and you're planning your time, please don't skip over those modules. Please make sure you allot enough time to live with those modules as they are designed, because it is when those modules are sort of skipped over that students sort of ask us later, well, what do you mean by an ethical principle? Or what do you mean by an ethical theory? To which my response is usually, we had a whole module on those. So I think it's just that they're not felt to be important when they truly are the meat and potatoes of sort of what we're building on. So thinking about those modules, please don't skip over those. Let's see. Finally, another emphasis I wanted to make was when you are using sources. So in this course, you're going to be asked to give perspectives and opinions. And keep in mind that those perspectives and opinions aren't true opinion. You need to have a defense for the argument that you make at any given time. When you are advocating for your patients as a practicing nurse, advocating on their behalf, you're gonna get a lot farther in the real world when you have evidence to support your perspective. And in ethics, it's really easy to find evidence on either side. Because ethics is oftentimes a gray area. And so arguing on a patient's behalf to a physician or to another family member who might disagree with the patient, arguing and saying, well, because that's what I think, doesn't get you far. And in fact, it does your patients a disservice. So that is what's going to be expected in this class as well, as if you are going to make an argument or have a perspective, all perspectives are welcome, even if your peers disagree or I disagree or you disagree with me, that's all okay. All perspectives are welcome. They must be supported, and they must be supported with what we call peer-reviewed literature or primary sources. So if you haven't encountered primary sources much yet, they are direct sources. Your textbook would be a primary source. A journal article would be a primary source. You will see this highlighted in the syllabus, so I won't belabor the point, and we will talk about it again at kickoff. But understand that primary sources are not Wikipedia. They are not a blog. They are not a video that you find on YouTube randomly. There are some good sources on YouTube, but when we're talking about making a defense for an argument, you need to be able to make that defense and say, where did I get this from? And a primary source is one that is peer-reviewed. What does that mean? It means that when I publish, write an article and put it in a journal, other people in my field have read it and have vetted it and have made sure that I'm not just making stuff up. And so that's what a primary source is it's been reviewed, it's been vetted, it's been critiqued, criticized, ripped up one side, down the other by peers until it's acceptable for the community. Doesn't mean you agree. It means that it's not just opinion, that it's not that it's sound research or a sound support for a particular argument. So we'll talk more about this at kickoff, but just understand that you are going to be held responsible for finding peer-reviewed sources. And so going back to the library presentation you had when you first started this program, I don't know if Alyssa did it, our librarian, but if you're not sure, I will give you her contact for our college librarian, who will help you learn how to find primary sources. So please reach out if you're struggling with that. But that's just sort of one of those things also that we see students sometimes struggle with when they're finding support for their arguments. So you'll see that there's a discussion once you get sort of through the beginnings of the intro and the start here. You're going to find that the first discussion talks about personal and professional values, and once you've made it through the content of the module, you will start. And with my sections this semester, you are going to be introduced to Flipgrid. I don't know if you've used Flipgrid before, but you will see in the discussion instructions, sorry, I'm looking at it while we're talking, that there is a link, super short, to show you how to use it. And that is where you are going to post. And the instructions are there. You can all read, so I'm not going to read it out for you. But you will all, in your discussion sections on Canvas, that's where you will go to click on the link to make your Flipgrid video. And you can post it there. You don't need to repost a link in Canvas. And so you can post right into Flipgrid, and that's where you're going to see each other's posts and respond to each other's posts as well. So you're going to do that in Flipgrid. That way we can see each other, we can talk to each other. It's a little bit more personal than just seeing words on a page. And so again, you're going to go to your discussion section, your discussion group for this first posting, and that is where you will find the Flipgrid link that you will click on, and that will link you to our grid. So you'll be able to see all of that. If you have questions or concerns about that, or you can't link into it, we can talk about it at kickoff, or I can set up a separate meeting or email with you guys. So I think that's it. I look forward to meeting all of you and seeing all of you at kickoff, and I look forward to a great semester.